All right. So, as somebody who's locked in, okay,
Yep.
I don't see anybody better for me to ask this question when it comes to evaluating Coach TC Taylor.
Mm,
I
okay.
know there's a lot of talk, so many comparisons between him and Coach Prime.
Yep.
Okay. But I saw on one of your lives, you made a great comparison to somebody a lot of folks don't mention people, everybody mentions WC Gordon, but a lot of folks don't mention Big Daddy Carson.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So with that said, what letter grade would you give TC so far through this recruiting period and through the spring? What letter grade would you give TC?
For me, I don't do plus and minuses when I'm doing grades. I do A, B, C, D, or F.
Right.
And I know many may feel like I'm a homer, and I'm going to say an A because I don't think it'll be fair to Coach TC to give him a B given the circumstances that he had that he took over. He didn't take over a situation that was stable. The exiting of the coach that we had. Now, granted, arguably we had the most famous student, I mean, not student athlete, you can say that, but probably the most famous athlete in the history of sports became our head football coach, and Deion Sanders. That's arguably. If you put him on the route, you put Deion Sanders on the Mount Rushmore of popularity when it comes to athletes.
He top 10.
He top 10. He up there. He up there. But I'm just saying, from a football standpoint, that's going to chop off all those others. I'm talking about from a football standpoint, he's definitely on the Mount Rushmore of notoriety. Mm-hmm. And you saw what happened when he became our coach. It was a straight Jackson State frenzy, a media frenzy, and it's still somewhat that way to this day. So let's backtrack just a quick second.
Okay.
December 13th, Coach TC Taylor is announced the head coach. That's a Tuesday, if my memory served me correct. Celebration Bowl was December 17th. Mm-hmm. So granted, in the preparation for the Celebration Bowl against North Carolina Central, and given the fact that Deion Sanders has now been announced that he's going to be going to Colorado, this is going to be his last game. So it's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of emotions. There's a lot going on, man. Who's going to replace Deion? And this is there couldn't have been a more perfect person with the right temperament of a Coach TC Taylor to be the man that takes over. And the reason I say that is because if you bring a new person in, that person has to figure out who's who. That person has to understand who he's dealing with. You got to get to know this person, get to know that person. The fact that he was there for those past 2 seasons and beyond and before that, but he was physically there for Deion Sanders' tenure.
Right.
TC was the perfect candidate. He was the perfect hire because he understood what Jackson State needed. He loves Jackson State, man. You get what I'm saying? And when you got somebody in the room that loves the university, and the university wasn't in a good shape, we weren't in good shape right then, bro. We was taking a lot of hits publicly. It was rumors and misinformation circulating. You got a lot going on, man. Then you lose the Celebration Bowl. Deion Sanders leaves. The portal's open. It's signing day is 4 days after that. So you fast forward to December 21st, you got early signing period. This man was able to quietly, confidently stabilize the program, assemble a staff, a good staff at that, home run hire with Maurice Harris and Coach Bradley and beyond. Put together the number 2 FCS recruiting class. Straight out the gate, here comes a Savin McGee transfer from Oregon. Nobody expected it, not even myself, not even Zoe. We didn't see that coming. You get what I'm saying? So he let us know out the gate, hey, ain't no drop off when it comes to recruiting. I'm still going to recruit to that level. So to put together the number 1 HBCU recruiting class in the midst of absolute pure chaos, my goodness, man. Then he was able to get enough student athletes enrolled for spring ball. Because that's what you got to factor in. That's what's coming up. You got a signing day. Now you got to get your staff in place. These contracts with them are going to start at the beginning of the year. You got to get them in, get them moved in. You got to try to recruit. So he's recruiting, getting these guys hired, getting these guys moved to Jackson. Then camp starts open. First meeting, January 4th or something to that effect, they report. Then throughout this time, had some coaching turnover, had some initial names that was potentially going to be a part of his first staff, to either agree or not agree. And through all of this, you've seen one temperament. You've seen one tone. He has not changed his tune. He has walked with a quiet confidence, and he has displayed the right amount of attention to every situation that we were up against. He's given the media just enough, not too much, not too little. He's also gave the green light to establish a whole new role. Creative director of media for football operations. Shout out to Mr. Austin Robinson, ASVP. So this is a new role. You got players entering the portal left and right. You got players that don't report. Malachi Wideman don't show up. Willie Gaines don't show up. Savion Wilkinson exits the door, and the list goes on and on and on, right? Yet he has stayed the course. He has continued to recruit. He has had a phenomenal spring, had his first spring game, and has walked with the honor and the prestige of Jackson State with gracefulness, man. And I'm telling you, you can tell that Coach TC Taylor was made for the role that he's assumed right now, and the timing couldn't have been more perfect. And so that's why I give him an A. I understand what he was up against, and I'm just telling you right now, there's no guarantee that many of us could have dealt with it the way that he dealt with it, and to come out looking like, man, this team got the potential to be better than what we were last year. And people might feel some type of way when you say that. The defense is for real, man, and he's still adding recruits. Still adding recruits. So I give him an A. And I probably left something out, but you get the point.
Oh no, that was a hell of a description. It got me thinking. Basically, he's providing calm in the storm. That sounds like what you're
without question, man. It was straight chaos. Rochelle, for those who watch us on live from KC 1400 Media YouTube, Rochelle Henderson, who she comes on our panel all the time, she called it. We was in a moment of chaos, and TC was that calming, that calm within the midst of the storm, man. And he's a walking. Zoe said quiet confidence. I love that, and that's what ever since he said that, I was like, boy, that is it. That's the perfect description of TC Taylor.
Right. I definitely can see that. So shout out to TC.